Well, welcome back from spring break, everybody. Welcome to Criminal Justice Online. I know it's not as much fun, but actually, for some of the case studies coming up, this might not actually be a bad thing. It'll give me a little time to explain stuff a little bit easier. Today, this video is just for directions for our case this week. We're going to do a case study on Trayvon Martin. That's going to use the criminal investigation skills you learned before all of this fun stuff began. And it's also going to use some of your forensic skills, especially learning how to read a pathology or medical examiner's report to try to figure out what happened in this case. Now, I am going to include some information for you in my post. It'll include, obviously, this video. It's going to post a link to the transcript of the phone call that happened in this case between George Zimmerman, the accused, and the police. It's also going to include a transcript from Trayvon Martin, the victim, and his girlfriend at the same time. And it's also going to include a couple of 911 calls that really aren't going to help you a whole lot. Also included with the link is a file for the coroner's report. You can take a look at the coroner's report, be specific about paying attention to the wound on Trayvon Martin. Also, a copy of the map of the apartment complex it was in. I will tell you, it's not, I don't think 100% accurate, but it's pretty close, and it gives you an idea of what happened that night. And then a copy of the questions that I want you to answer for this case. Now, with that said, you do not have to stick to just the evidence that I gave you, but in all honesty, that's what the police have to work with, is just that information. You're more than welcome to check the internet, but the great thing about this case is most, if not all, the information you're going to find out on the internet is all inaccurate. Remember I told you about the press selling stories. Well, in this case, this is a great example of the press selling a story. Their information is slightly skewed, and I think their judgments were quick and completely inaccurate. If you talk to most police officers, or even if you read a couple of books about the forensics examiners that had studied this case, you will find that they are a lot more accurate in their conclusions than the media. And of course, then the media sparked American outrage and all the way up until the president. And it also included the district attorney's office, who began to press charges after the police told them that they didn't really think that there was a case here. Understand the premise of this case. George Zimmerman is working under what's called your stand your ground law, which basically says that if you're being physically attacked, you can respond by shooting someone. So in that case, George will shoot Trayvon and will kill him. Now, the question is, was this a murder? Was this self-defense? Or was this manslaughter? So in that case, we have no doubt that George Zimmerman did the shooting, but what were the circumstances around it? The transcripts are going to give us right up until the altercation between the two, and then we will go between then and try to figure out what happened after both men hung up their phones. The physical evidence will take over there, but that's up to you to figure out. Now, you're more than welcome to talk to classmates. You are more than welcome to talk to parents and try to come to your own conclusions. But, like I said, if you want to involve the internet, you can. I believe there is one question about George Zimmerman's sizes and his injuries that you would have to look up on the internet. But short of that, everything else, all of your answers will actually be found in those transcripts and the map and the coroner's report. Now, I will tell you one other thing. If you remember back to what it is for police work, there were three questions that you need to answer. Number one, what do you think? That's your opinion. What do you think just at a quick glance looking over the happening that night? Number two, what do you know? This is something you're 100% sure on, you're positive as a police investigator that this happened. And number three, what can you prove? While you know it could have happened, can you get other people to believe you? You have to have all 12 jurors. And again, while that seems obvious, there is a huge gap between what you know and what you can prove. And so that's where push comes to shove, and that's where you really got to pay attention to the details. I will tell you it's not easy for the first time, really trying to investigate this situation. But I will post another video on Monday to give you some of the answers. Remember, this is due on Friday at 3 o'clock. Has to be in by then. Please don't get behind. This is the first assignment for the fourth quarter. And I want you guys to do well in this difficult position. So at least give it an attempt. If you're wrong, you're wrong, and that's perfectly fine. Like I said, nobody can guarantee that we're 100% sure. I'll give you the theory, and I'll tell you what the police officer said and what the forensics have proven, and it's 100% to me. But again, does that mean I could prove it in front of a jury? Maybe not. So again, this is totally opinion, but I really want you to take some time to try to investigate this. I think this will be a fun assignment. Enjoy, and I will talk to you guys next week. If you have any questions, by the way, please feel free to email me. I'll get back to you right away. I posted my office hours for you, and I'm going to be online quite a bit over the next week. So enjoy. Have a good week.